Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Aries, let's go ahead and jump on into a story. Oh, boy, this deck is a mess. Um, I said that earlier today, and then I realized I never fixed it. I've got cards that were sunny side up, upside down, you name it. But that's all right. It all shuffles the same in the end. We've got a Knight of Cups. We've got a Knight of Swords. Got the Five of Coins in the reverse. This to me is looking like we have someone who is all kinds of fired up. They're kind of making impulsive decisions, maybe decisions driven by emotions. That's really kind of where impulse comes from, anyway, right? The sudden urge to do something or a knee jerk reaction. But in this case, it's the emotional. Like impetus that says, I must do this and I must do this now. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to miss out on this opportunity. Now, this could be FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, where somebody says, I've got to go do this. I must, I must. But and this could be Aries or this could be someone else. Let's just see. Let's just see. We have got a Three of Wands and we've got the Hanged Man sideways. So this is all about something that a character has procrastinated and they're fearful that they procrastinated too long, that maybe now that the future is going to be written without them. Can I still say yes to this? Can I still put my name in the hat? Can I still get a chance? This could be somebody that either didn't, they needed like reserve their spot for, I mean, heck, maybe this is to travel. Maybe somebody needed to go ahead and book a cruise, book a flight. And they kept putting it off, and suddenly they're like, I've got to do it now. I don't want to be the only person that doesn't get to go, or I don't want to go or be the person who doesn't get to go and maybe meet up with Aries or be on that cruise with Aries. There is something here about it's something they needed to do now in order to have the future work out. It has a lot to do. Okay, so it could have been money that was factoring in, not necessarily desire. We do have the Four of Coins here sideways. We also have the King of Wands sideways. Money can govern desire just a little bit because it's like, well, I want to do this, but I haven't got the funds for it. So I'm not super keen to do this thing only because I don't know how I'm going to afford it. That's not the same thing as saying, oh, I don't want to do this. It's more like, this doesn't fill me with happy butterflies because all I can keep thinking is, will I have the amount of money to spend on this? It does feel like it was something that a character had to like put effort in, not effort, but this looks like something tangible, and they didn't know if they could make this work, and now they're afraid that they let it lapse too long because this has everything to do with their 10 of Cups. So I'm going to say that this is either somebody who was possibly, a King of Wands. So it doesn't, I mean, it's an Aries reading. This could be Aries, but I'm more inclined to say that it's someone who would match very well with the Aries, but they didn't take action when they could have or should have. Maybe I'll just say when they should have. It's very clear to them now where their happiness lies. It's very clear to them that this is something they needed to do. I hardly think that this is like, well, if they don't take that vacation and have the money to go on a cruise with Aries, then they, this will be a big breakup and they won't be able to be with the Aries. I don't think it's something like that. I'm more inclined now to say that this is a character who should have approached the Aries some time ago. They put it off. I want to know, why did they put it off? Because we got a 10 of Wands in the reverse. We have the Two of Swords. This almost feels like either they were fearful that Aries wasn't necessarily going to say a definite yes to them, and they didn't want to admit that to themselves, that this was kind of like, yeah, but I don't want to handle a rejection. That they could have still been laying down burdens from some other situation in their life where somebody had turned them down once upon a time. So then they procrastinate because they're like, if I come toward an Aries and they say no, I don't know if I'm ready to hear a no. So they could have procrastinated simply because of that. But why is it feeling like they're running out of time? Why is it feeling like they're running out of time? We have 10 of Swords in the reverse. Yikes, because by not stepping up, they actually kind of, it's almost like they insulted the Aries somehow. And this delay on something allowed way too much water under the bridge. And then that water got like murky and putrid and it stinks now, like yucky, murky pond water. Hanged Man, Ace of Swords. Yeah, they know it. There was something here about the delay was actually, it turned out to be a bit of an insult, and they know it too, that they would interpret it the same way. The not being sure came across as like, wow, that's that's awesome. I feel super valuable right now. Like that, it looks like that behavior brought about an end. And they know that the Aries says, yeah, if you don't know that I'm valuable, you have to think about it, then bye bye, baby, bye bye bye. Oh, Ebony's, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. You are so kind and so generous. Thank you for that. What a beautiful donation. Thank you, everybody who's here tonight. Um, this is one of those energies where I think they know darn well that the Aries has cut them out. I said, why do they feel a sense of like, time is running out? Time already did run out. Their behavior, it's like sometimes, here's what I think. I think sometimes things can happen and it doesn't sink in right away that, oh my God, that was totally the wrong move. That was rude, or that there's no other way anybody would see this. I've insulted somebody, but they don't notice it at first. And then they realize, and it's like blaring at them right now, this was wrong. Either it's because time passes and then one day everybody knows too much time has passed and there's no retracting it now. And it's kind of just like an interesting thing, almost like, um I think everybody knows what we're talking about. If you say, have you ever sat down and had, a coffee date with a friend and it's really fun, but then it goes on too long, and then at some point both people go, oh my God, we've been here forever. My legs are numb. I can barely stand up. How did it get to be dark? Like, we need to go. This took way too long. And it's like it sneaks up on everybody at the same time. That's the best way for me to describe this. The amount of time that has passed with them in procrastination mode, it got inappropriately long to where now it's like an insult. And it's not even an insult, maybe so much as it is Aries is done. So they now are trying to rush in after the clock has struck midnight, basically, right? It's too late now. We got the Fool. Yeah, that was a foolish move. And the Nine of Cups. And they feel like a fool because this was obviously their happiness. Why were they unable to see that with confidence until now? I don't understand. We have Seven of Swords with Queen of Pentacles. They were lying to themselves about this, lying through their teeth, or they had somebody telling them, like clouding their mind. This could have been a frenemy. This could have been a overbearing like mother figure, or a, well-intentioned friend that is, they feel so knowledgeable and they want to put in their 2 cents. Someone who is really giving their opinion far too much in this and said things that they know weren't true. That's the problem, though. Getting the wrong information from a credible source. Look, a credible source could be anyone who, typically does have really good sound advice to give and a lot of caring. But the individual is always responsible for their own actions and knowing what's true and what's untrue. Someone who gives advice to anybody on earth, they're an outsider. They don't live in that skin. That's why it's all about personal choice. So if this character listened to someone who they cared about, someone who cared about them, like, a mother figure is a great example of that, they could still have been given all kinds of advice that they knew that's not really hitting the mark. That's not really true. My Aries is somebody that does make me happy in a bunch of really wonderful, healthy ways, and I do want to go toward them. No, I don't think I should be waiting and just taking my time because the Aries really matters to me and I should show them that I matter. But instead, this person might have kept listening to someone who said, oh, no, no, just take time. It takes a long time to get to know someone. And, if you're not sure, then you should probably just sit back. And and I feel like they knew that that wasn't right, but they listened to that anyway. I don't know exactly why, other than like it looks here, they had a credible and well-intentioned source. It doesn't really look like this person was trying to bog them down or get them confused. And I'm not going to let this character off the hook anyway. They're responsible for their own actions, especially if they're turning to other people for advice. It's like, then you still have to be strong enough to make your own decisions and not go with someone else's advice and say, well, they told me I should. Well, who's the adult? It's your life, it's your heart. You're choosing for yourself. Nobody tells you what to do. You chose to ask somebody for advice, or you listen to them instead of saying, "Hey, no thanks. I'm going to go ahead and make my own decisions." It's almost like, I don't think that's a I'm not going to let them off the hook for this, because it was still their choice. But it looks like they were listening to someone who was well intentioned, and they knew that it wasn't correct, they knew that it wasn't true, whatever advice they were given, but they listened to that anyway instead of their heart. So at this point, I'm kind of like, well, we got the Six of Swords, we got the High Priestess. I gotta say, I'm kind of a fan of Aries moving on, only because I'm kind of like, I know this person is racing in because they want this happiness, but we've got a Six of Swords, which is like, Aries is, they've already used that Ace of Swords to cut this thing off. They've moved on. They're feeling happy, they're feeling good, and their intuition says what? What does Aries intuition say at this point? Because we've got an action that's already been taken on behalf of Aries, and we see them moving forward. Six of Wands, we got Page of Swords. I gotta say, I think Aries feels lighter and brighter because they went ahead and said, you know what? Dang, it's been a real long time. I think that's enough time. I think I know this person doesn't seem to know what my worth is, but you know what? Thank goodness I do know my worth. And so thank you, universe, for letting me see loud and clear. They're not the one for me. I move on. And it's crazy because this person's still over here, like looking in Aries' direction like crazy. But I don't think Aries is taking this person back. I think that they've already had a glow up. We saw that, or at least I thought we were seeing that already when we saw the Ace of Swords that were back here. That was back here. I already felt like, look at how balanced she is. Like all of her chakras are lit. She's just in a really good place. And so I'm not surprised at all to see our Aries is like, yeah, I'm not hurting over this person. Someone who holds back because they got bad advice instead of just knowing how they feel. I'm not sure that they're mature enough for me. She comes across as somebody that's very clear on herself, on what her worth is, on what she wants. And if they took so long to discover, wait a minute, this is my happiness. Oh my gosh, I should stop holding back and I should rush forward. I do think that she's kind of already moved on. To her, that was enough for her to know that they're not the one for her. Him, her, it doesn't matter. I don't read for genders, but the bottom line is I think that the Aries is truly done with this, even though this person is now trying to come knocking on their door. So what's the final message on all of this? Because we have change here for sure. We got a Three of Wands, Seven of Wands, Four of Cups. I gotta say, Aries is moving on into something much spicier, something I feel like they're going out, they're having a good time. Maybe they're going to live concerts, they're rocking out, they're having a good time in their life. Literally, they're overcoming any struggles that this left them with. Somebody could be taking an awesome vacation. There's maybe they're going to a wedding, there's some kind of celebratory fireworks in the sky. Like all of this looks really exciting. And then by contrast, we have a ton of regret here. We've got that Four of Cups. I have to say, I don't know what the purpose was of this whole story other than the concept that procrastinating when there is someone of high value, but then a character knows that, but they keep procrastinating, um, that leads to a lot of missed opportunities. And the person that they procrastinated on is not going to be, why would anybody be a blessing and then wait around and hope that the blessing and the love and the things that they would want to bestow on somebody, so one day they'll accept all that I'm offering. It's like, nah, never mind. There's other people who probably do want me. And I feel like that's her attitude. And she just moves on. That's the Aries attitude, is like, I'm sorry, I'm just not even gonna worry about it. There's so many other people still to meet on this earth that are gonna be exciting, they're gonna be present, they're gonna build with me, and they're gonna love what I'm putting out and wanna scoop it right up. So I think I'll go ahead and give to those people instead, or that person. It feels like Aries is gonna be dating and having a one heck of a good time. I don't think that they shed a tear over this. Not true for the other person. The other person they've missed their shot. That's what it looks like. And I think that they're going to kind of sit in that energy in a lonely room for quite a while. So I don't know. I don't know if they keep trying, but we're going to leave this one here because I think the Aries is really over it. So there's no reason to be bothered with whether or not that person is going to try it again. It looks like it's a little too late. So I'm going to leave that one there. It's a little bittersweet perhaps, but I like the fact that our Aries just moves on anyway, into success and into much funner times. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you do enjoy the channel, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Just FYI, I will probably only put out one other video this week with Aries in it. That'll be for the harvest moon. And then I'm going to be gone for a little bit, but I'll see you guys back next week as usual. So thanks everybody for being here. Bye.